That's just, you know what you know, but you're not paying attention. Pay attention to yourself. Tap into your instinct, your woman's intuition. If the men are watching, it's your gut. They be like, oh, men don't have intuition. No, we don't call it men's intuition. It's called your gut, right? You know how you feel. If you don't like it, it don't matter if the other person thinks it's petty. You don't like it. And then that's when you gotta be like, peace, see you later.
Hashtag Mo Gently Talks is the clean theory. Clean spirit homes and lives when you feeling weary. The space is safe to purge and re-emerge. We hope you feel the urge on the verge to stay driven while looking at the lives of 3 dope black women. No topics forbidden, raw, bearing our souls. We got love for everybody, even some for you trolls. Talking life, lost love, how to get to the bag. The clean theory, Mo Gently Talks is the hashtag.
Thanks for coming back, everybody. It's Jennifer.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Lee.
And we are the Clean Theory. What y'all
Hey,
doing?
everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Thank
How
you.
you guys doing? Well, we've had a wonderful weekend. It's Monday, the day that we're filming, and I hope everybody is having a great Monday. We're going to start a new series. This is episode 6. I'm going to start a new series. It's called The Mistakes That We Have Made in Our Relationships. And we're going to try to give some advice on how to identify these mistakes before they happen, and also to try to help you, if you make them, to, rebound from them, because we all make mistakes. Of course, we're only human, and this is an experiment. Life is an experiment. You mess up, you fall down, you get right back up.
Get back up.
Get up.
So this is episode 6. Super exciting. And the first topic in this series is knowing when to leave, and also not knowing when to leave when we have let the other person overstay their welcome. So what do you think about that? Not knowing when to leave or knowing when to leave? What are the signs?
I think, you hear a lot on social media, red flags. There were a lot of red flags. Going into relationships, specifically going into a relationship, I heard today on Instagram, you should look for if a guy is something about hypersexuality, and if every time you link up with them, it's about sex. I'm thinking that is potentially a red flag, but what other red flags could be, or what I've seen is, usually if you're looking in a relationship or to have a relationship, you put out what you want to get back. Okay. And if you can't get someone to scramble eggs or tell you I love you, those are blaring red flags, right? Because those, like the scrambled eggs we talked about, is a metaphor for the things I want to see you do for me, or I want to know in my relationship that it's nothing you won't do for me, right?
You were saying your concern is that scrambling eggs seems so petty and so minuscule, and I was like, nah, it's symbolic of, this is what I like, these are the things that I like. Are you going to do them knowing that I like them? Are you going to rebel on purpose and make a concerted effort to just be like, nah, I ain't doing that for you,
right?
Which is not what you want in a spouse.
That's not what you want in anybody, right? Like, I don't even want that in my girlfriends. Right. Like, don't treat me like that.
Right.
And I think, again, those are the things, the mistakes you make. You could look back and be like, you know what? I should have left sooner. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't even have started, because these things happen right out of the gate. Don't try to minimize your feelings, because that happens, right? Mm-hmm. In situations, you minimize how you feel. Or maybe it's a cultural difference. Maybe it's a race thing. Right. Maybe we grew up in different types of households. All those things are valid, but listen to your instinct. Listen to your gut.
Because wanting to please your spouse goes across all spectrums.
Right.
It's not a cultural thing or a race thing. If your spouse says, I like this, and you make sure that you don't do what that spouse likes, it doesn't matter what color you are. You just a butthole for real. What you think?
Yeah. Crocodiles.
Yeah, absolutely. So red flags are, what's the word I'm looking for? They're really indicative of whoever is saying that this is a red flag, right? Like sometimes, especially on social media, be like, girl, this is a red flag. This is a red flag. It might not be a red flag for you, right? And so what you have to do, or what you should do, right? Talking to myself, previous relationships, know what your threshold is, and sometimes we don't pay attention to those things because, like Lee said, oh, it seems so petty. Mm-hmm.
Or we just wanted to work.
And you, right.
Right.
That's really what it is. You really want it to work. Like, oh, I don't like that. I'm going to just give him 87 more chances. Right. And every time you get to 85, 86, 87, they're all things that you know are not going to work for you. Right. So it's like, oh, you know, just trying to stick a square peg in a round hole, that kind of thing. And when you don't, you know when to leave, right? Mm-hmm. You've convinced yourself that it's not time. You've convinced yourself that, okay, next time is going to be better. If you do it one more time, then I'm going to leave. No, you knew 12 chances ago. Again, talking to my former self. And that's just, you know what you know, but you're not paying attention. Pay attention to yourself. Tap into your instinct, your woman's intuition. If the men are watching, it's your gut. They'd be like, oh, men don't have intuition. No, we don't call it men's intuition. It's called your gut, right? You know how you feel. If you don't like it don't matter if the other person thinks it's petty. You don't like it.
That's what it is.
And then that's when you got to be like, peace, see you later.
Right.
Your feelings are valid too. I don't care if you're a woman or a man. Everybody's feelings are valid. Absolutely.
This advice can be applied to romantic relationships as well as friendships. Little story time. I was messing with a dude, years ago, of course, and I can't remember what the exact conversation was, but I remember what he said was, oh, you spoiled. I said, you spoiled. Your father spoils you. I said, your father spoils you. Don't expect me to do that.
Ooh. Okay.
What? what is I was like, and this is what I was talking about when I mentioned in previous episodes about looking back on my younger self and just cringing. Somebody said this to my face. Somebody who I loved said this to my face, and I continued in a relationship. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't I have the sense of mind at that time? Because I don't want to blame it on my age, because there are a lot of 20-year-olds out here doing it, as we talked about in previous episodes. Why did I let this joker say to me, oh, I'm not going to spoil you, and think it was okay and stay? I didn't know when to leave. I didn't leave until a long time afterwards, but, it was a learning lesson, and, something I can pass on to my daughters as well as my sons, because there's some chicks out here saying some crazy stuff with their mouths as well. It's not just all dudes. Anything else you want to add with that?
That's real talk. So knowing when to leave, right? We've all had situations where we should have left, we didn't left. And our big thing for me, I think, looking back on my younger self is, again, you should have left sooner, right? I know I've talked to so many of you about, yes, I should have left. Oh, girl, I finally left. And I think, in general, right, I should have left. I seen that there was things that I would be willing to do, and others wouldn't. That goes with girlfriends, too. I had a girlfriend in college. You're familiar with her, really close to her. Real, a lot of things happened in her life. I was always there for her because I felt like she was family. I would go the extra mile for her, paying for this, doing for that, running to her house, doing all these things because she had so much going on.
Mailing her mail to her and stamps in the union.
Right. I mean, and it was like, and I was poor, right? I'm in college. We already talked about the credit cards. Okay. I was doing all these things for another person on the credit cards that, took me years to pay off for my good girlfriend. Right. And it wasn't until fast forward a few years where it was like, I need some help. And it was like, oh, girl. I mean, I'm not asking you for money, but I'm asking you for effort. And that's when you figure out relationship. Where is the relationship? Are you the friend? Are they your friend? Where's the balance? And hence, then you either, when I was younger, I was petty Betty. I just, things would change quickly. Because that's the one thing that has been consistent. When I do get ready to leave a relationship, it's done. It's just so dead. It's in the bed. It's done.
What you think? Experiences you want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. As far as friendships are concerned, just had a conversation with you about it. I had a friend for many, many, many years, And it wasn't until we got a little bit older, like past 18, when I started to reflect that the relationship was one-sided. But I still was there, right?
Yeah.
And I always felt like, in the back of my mind, I always felt like, oh, this person is only around me because they don't have access to another friend that we have, because they would fall out all the time.
Right.
Right. And then when they would get back in good graces, then Simone would be ghost town. Right.
Yeah.
It would be no. Right. And so, you get older, things happen, and you just grow up. And, we had a situation where she tried to suggest that I wasn't a good friend. And whoa, Nelly, that was not. I said, okay, all right, let's do it. And that was it for me. Like, I'm not sure if, and it's shameful to say, I'm not sure if that situation didn't happen, if I would have walked away from the friendship. But it was that moment when she tried to say to me that I wasn't a good friend.
Like, gonna challenge your shit.
That just did not sit well with me. And I walked away from it, and I totally feel fine about it. Right. There's been some attempts to rekindle the friendship, and I don't feel bad about the fact that I'm okay with, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's it. Like, normally I would feel bad. Like, oh, let's try again. How you got not going to try to be a friend with somebody you've been friends with? It's over. It's over.
I'm trying to come at it at a different angle. What if you can't leave? What if leaving is not an option? Because there's somebody out there who's like, I'm not trying to leave. So what am I going to do? Here's the thing. So when you grow with somebody and you have expectations of them and you understand that they are not realized, there's many steps that you go through. You go through the asking, can you please accommodate me? Can you please, nurse my feelings? I'm having a conversation with you. I'm communicating with you. I'm open. I'm vulnerable. I'm extremely raw. I always make sure that my spouse understands exactly what I'm talking about. He never, ever has to question, what is Jennifer thinking? Never, ever, ever. And after, your requests are not met, your family grows. You have obligations. You have properties. You have businesses. Of course, you have the babies. I don't want to mess that up. So my advice to someone out there who is not miserable in relationship, because by no means am I miserable. My man is my best friend. But every partner is not the perfect partner. And I feel that, where I don't have my needs being met, I had to find a comfortable spot in order to maneuver through my life. So my advice is to find a safe spot, a comfortable spot for you to be able to thrive in your relationship. It's going to be hard because you're going to be pissed. Like, why can't they just do this for me? I'm asking. I'm one of the illest chicks out here. Why can't they just accommodate me? And sometimes people just aren't built to accommodate you. People's backgrounds are how they were raised, all types of trauma dealing with them. They do not have the equipment. Some people, they're just ill-equipped when it comes to emotions, when it comes to, physicalities, when it comes to dealing with you on a level that isn't always physical, spiritually, emotionally. And that's, I'm a Leo. I'm a girl. I bleed pink. I like that emotion, and sometimes my husband can't meet me where I am, and that's fine. I just have to find a space that we can be happy in. And I found it. Thank God I found it, with prayer, with, my friend's support. We talked through it and we found our space and we're thriving. I'm saying just because your needs aren't being met is not necessarily a red flag. Maybe you have to conform a little bit as well. Maybe you have to meet that person halfway. Maybe just because your needs aren't being met, don't cut them off it. Give them a chance. See where, test out the middle ground. See if you guys can thrive in that space. And that's worked for me. Any closing things y'all want to say?
I would just say, I don't want our viewers or the people who view our podcast to think by any means that we're advocating for you to stay in a situation where you're unhappy. Jennifer is a happily married woman. I'm a happily married woman. And Moni is in a happy partnership, life partnership with her relationship. So I know that, situations, there are going to be women out there who are in real situations where they really want to leave and they can't because of finances, because, of fear, of all those things. And we're definitely not advocating for you to stay in anything that is unsafe or unhealthy for you mentally. Because here at The Clean Theory, we want you to be able to come here and purge and hear things about our lives that may touch you. And so I just wanted to close with that. Like, we're not advocating for you to stay in anything unhealthy. Mm-hmm. What we're actually trying to do is help you understand, like, from Jennifer's perspective, how you can evolve into a relationship where, there is give and take and there's compromise and we can still be happy.
Because I didn't hear that. growing up. What did you hear growing up all the time? Oh, girl, you need to leave him. If he ain't doing that, you need to leave. It's not that simple.
No.
And people need to stop giving your friends that type of BS advice, because you're putting a strain on them. It's hard enough in it as is. So just be supportive, give them options of, different resources out there that they can, tap into. I found my resources, and, we're doing well. I'm saying, don't cut people off. Don't just throw away a relationship. Find your happy space. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take it's a lot of tears, a lot of, heartache, but you're going to get there. You're going to get there. You have to work at it. Just keep trying. You're going to get there. Anything you want to say in closing?
I agree with that, especially about, us just, if you're unsafe, that's different from what we're talking about here.
Right.
What we're talking about is
and there are resources for that as well.
Exactly. Yeah. There's give and take in every relationship. And I think sometimes when you're in the honeymoon phase, you think that this person is supposed to fulfill every single thing for you. Like, you have to be this. I want you to do this. And I don't want to get any of those things that I need to be happy for myself from any other resource. And when you grow up, you realize that one person can't. I remember a friend of mine said that her ex-man at the time told her, "I can't be your only thing to do." And that hit me. Mm-hmm. And we was young. And he was a little bit older. She was like, "Why you ain't?" He was like, "Baby, I can't be your only thing to do."
I love that. And we're going to table it right there. That's the closing of episode 6. Thank you guys so much. I'm Jen.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Lee.
And we are The Clean Theory. We want to see you next time.
Hashtag Mo Gently Talks. It's the Clean Theory. Clean spirit, homes, and lives when you feeling weary. The space is safe to purge and re-emerge. We hope you feel the urge on the verge to stay driven while looking at the lives of 3 dope black women. No topics forbidden, raw, bearing our souls. We got love for everybody, even some for you trolls. Talking life, lost love, how to get to the bag. The Clean Theory, Mo Gently Talks. It's the hashtag.